Hey, Brendan here. Welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in. Jason DiRienzo and I are back. We are starting our 2025 rookie profile series here on the YouTube channel. Got a new look on the channel. If you're a longtime subscriber, you can see I got a new name, I got a new feel, I got everything going on. So again, thanks for tuning in. We're going to start at the top of the running back class, guys. We're going to talk about Ashton Jeanty. Jason and I, we've watched the All-22 film. And we came away really impressed. He's our RB1 of the class, and he's the RB1 of the majority of people out there, and rightfully so. Impressive player. We're going to go give you everything you need to know about Jeanty. We're going to go over his scouting report, his stats. We're going to go over where we think his draft capital is going to be in Superflex, as well as QB1, fantasy leagues. We're going to give you some player comps. We're going to have some fun with this. So again, if you want to have access to the All-22 film breakdown that we broke down and want to just learn about future classes, the 2025 class, 2026, and 2027, check out the email address below that is on the screen. Help support the channel. Let's get to the show. Let's get to our rookie report, all right, for this week. Now, you and I, we watched the All-22 film against Oregon, and we just, Georgia Southern too, but we recorded the Oregon game and obviously came away impressed. So this is going to be kicking off our rookie report season here on the podcast and the YouTube channel. And we figured, you know what, let's start off at the top. Right. I mean, We're going to start at the top and work our way down. I think this year we were kind of all over the place last year, but we're going to really hit on these guys. You know, everyone knows Ashton Jeanty, Boise State running back, 5'9", 215 pounds. He is a true junior. Don't think there's any chance that he comes back for his senior year. That would be the shock of a lifetime, I think, if he were to come back for his senior year. So we watched the All-22 film. Why don't you give us an overview of what you see overall before we get into his scouting report a little bit?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the first thing that really pops is just the intelligence. When he gets in the ball with the ball in his hands, there's no non-committal, indecisive opportunities for him. Like he identifies developing gaps very quickly. He commits to them. He shows outstanding acceleration and burst through those gaps. He lowers his pads. Sometimes he has that high pad level when it's, the trenches are kind of congested. But even when they're congested, he understands that if there's no lane available, he can hit it to the outside. And that's another impressive part of his game, is just that fluid lateral agility that he has. It's instantaneous. He basically teleports himself laterally to the outside perimeter and shows good burst and acceleration. Once he gets to the perimeter, I mean, it's going to be really hard to take this kid down because he has that second gear that he hits. So he has that long speed too. When he's, when there's above or below the knees or above the knees tackle attempts, he does a really good job of shaking those off. Good contact balance. As a pass catcher, I really like what I've seen so far. He's not utilized tremendously in that department, but when he is, he makes the most of it. And yards after contact is just going to be a huge part of his game. And NFL teams, man, they want a guy that can make more of a situation. Instead of having a 3-yard loss, if you can get 5 yards out of that, you're special. And Ashton Jeanty could be that guy. So he checks the majority of the boxes that we look for, and it's hard to nitpick a negative in this game at this point.
Yeah, we love watching the All-22 film, which you guys can find on the big board. Your yards after contact, I'm looking at his PFF grades. You guys watching on YouTube, you can see it on the screen right now. 6.42 yards after contact. Now, I don't know, doing this for the last couple of years, if I've seen a number in the sixes, to be honest with you. And looking at his stats from 2023, man, in 2022 when he was a freshman, 5 yards a carry. 2023, 6.1 yards a carry. 2024, 8.7 right now. We're only through week 9 of college football. It's the end of October. So these stats that you're looking at on the screen here are just through week 9. But if you look back at his 2023 season, he had 38 receptions for 546 yards.
There you go.
Which, this year he only has 12 receptions for 50 yards. So
really, he's running like a maniac. He
doesn't
even need to catch the ball.
Yeah. So, but to kind of follow up, you can see on the scouting report, I agree with you. His vision and line of scrimmage navigation is tremendous. We saw his ability to press the line of scrimmage, laterally move, the sweep feet meters in the 9 to 10 range, without a doubt. I mean, the guy can just laterally move without really losing any momentum, which is like super nice. And he brings that physicality to the table as well at 5'9", 215 pounds. He's got that burst to go through the line of scrimmage. The only negative and kind of knocks on his that we saw was he runs high, especially
Mhm.
as we discussed on the film review at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
But he's going to be a 3-down guy without a doubt. I think they'll still use him in the red zone, in those short yardage situations. But he just brings a punch, and he's exactly what the NFL is looking for, right? He's
Yes.
got
Yep.
the explosiveness. You give him a crease, he can take it the distance. I mean, I don't know how many plays this year are over 50-yard touchdowns, but I think there's got to be at least a half dozen, 6, 7, 8, nine.
It's
It
ridiculous.
is
I mean, anytime he
ridiculous.
has the ball, he's a threat, you know?
So let's talk about his draft capital. I mean, he is a first round lock at this point. The question is just how high is a team going to reach in the first round in the NFL draft? The juicy landing spot everyone's super excited about is the Dallas Cowboys. And as an Eagles fan, I wouldn't like to see that, but they need a running back. I can't believe that Dallas Cowboys, as a side note, went to war with Dalvin Cook and Zeke.
No.
So shame on them, but that is the landing spot everybody is hoping for. But how high do you think he can get in the NFL draft?
I think, to me, his value is right there where Gibbs went in that team
Yeah,
area. That, or
I
like
agree.
10 to 15, I could see that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think a team's going to be super excited to get him, and I think
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs is a worthy comp. So let's talk about our super flex rookie drafts. All right, we're going to assume it's a super flex. Now, if it's not a super flex and you are in a 1 QB dynasty, or we're not going to say redraft. That's kind of not. That's a whole different ballgame.
Right.
But if you're in a dynasty rookie draft, single one quarterback league, man, it's going to be him or one of the top 2 or 3 wide receivers. I think Jeanty, if he gets that juicy landing spot, he's going to be the 101.
Mhm.
Um, now if it's a super flex, I'm thinking top 5. People, especially
Oh,
if these quarterbacks,
easily, I would say top 3, depending upon how
Mm,
we've I mean, what other
yeah.
2 quarterbacks would you wanna take over him? Because I have questions about the quarterbacks
Oh yeah.
already. I
No,
don't
well,
have
of course.
any questions about Ashton Jeanty, and that usually leads to who I'm gonna take. Who do I have less question marks about? Because I need to hit on that first round pick, especially picking the top 5.
Yeah. Well, we did our last rookie mock on this channel and on the podcast here, and you picked him number 3. We had Jalen
There you go.
Monroe first
So
after
top
that
3.
big
Yeah.
Georgia game. I picked Cam Ward, and then you went to the well and took Ashton Jeanty, and we
He
gave
was
him.
also going to Dallas, so
Yeah,
that
that's right. So
so landing spot probably will play into that, how juicy
yeah,
that spot. I mean, even if you went to Cincinnati, I mean, I would pull the trigger on that one
yeah,
too.
yeah.
So,
Unless we get a like behind us like a clear starter, but
right,
he's going to be a top 3 or 4 or 5 selection for that
for
doubt. All right,
sure.
my comp for him, looking at the 2023 passing attempts, I got Alvin Kamara kind of as a comp. Man, Kamara's just so explosive.
Mhm.
He's just signed a 2-year deal, by the way, which I thought was like really good for
That's
him staying in, at age 30. I think he's 30 already, just got another 2-year
yeah,
deal. Good for him. But man, Kamara at his prime, he's on 2 of my dynasty leagues. He carried my team for years, and I could see
yeah,
Gente,
me too.
just that explosiveness. He's got that power. I think this kid's going to get stronger. He's still young. Now Kamara had that fantastic receiving profile. He hasn't brought that to the table this year, but just went over the stats. He caught 38 balls in 2023. So who the hell knows if he gets on the right team, they might throw him the
Right.
ball just like they did to Kamara. But I see glimmers of Kamara when I watch him play.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that. I mean, you just talked about the 500-yard season he had, receiving, and that's something that's definitely going to come into play. I have Dalvin Cook in his prime.
I
The
like it.
movement ability, just his cutting and how he teleports himself from right behind the center at the line of scrimmage all the way to the right or left tackle instantaneously. It just reminds me of Dalvin Cook in that gear change, where he's a threat to take it to the house in any play. Yeah, it just reminds me a lot of Dalvin coming out of FSU in his prime.
I like it. I like it. Exciting player. If you got him on your roster on your Devi or C2C
Yeah,
leagues,
congratulations.
congratulations. You're going to be sitting up with your feet up on draft night, just praying and
Chilling.
chilling, hoping you get that juicy landing
Yeah.
spot. So there is our rookie report for Ashton Jeanty.